Alright everyone, 2nd of May, nighttime over here. I had a pretty solid day today. I got both workouts in after, being at the conference for a few days and not, being able to work out. Chest pump was amazing. Lat pump was amazing. Really got a really good workout in for chest and back today. Eating was on point too. Doing good. My weight is actually down a little bit from where it was last week at 210. Now I'm at about 205. It's possible I was holding a bit of extra water weight at that time. It's also possible that since I wasn't eating as much over the weekend, I lost a little bit there too. So, minor setback, nothing important. Stuffed my face today, stuffed my face tomorrow. No problem. So today I kind of wanted to talk about being yourself, and specifically I kind of wanted to talk about, having a personality, having an ego, being a person, having a brand. These are not bad things, obviously. You want to be your own person. You can't just be, like a mix of all these other people. Sooner or later you have to become your own self. And what does that mean? That means being someone that's unique, someone that's individual, and the number one thing you should really think about is you need to try and find what is it that makes you you. What is it, how are you different from other people? What is it that you're particularly good at? And, it's really easy to get really hard and really down on ourselves and say, I'm not good at anything. Because, sometimes, it seems like there are people who are better than us at pretty much everything that we do, and that really sucks, Everyone kind of has that little bit of imposter syndrome where they feel like no matter what they do, they're never as good as the next guy. And, it's okay to feel that from time to time. That's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also important to really think back, to really keep an open mind, be introspective, look back at yourself and say, oh, see, this is the way that I'm different. This is the way that I'm unique. And everyone is. Everyone absolutely is. There's no person on planet Earth who is exactly like you. Even if you're, like a terribly boring person, and honestly, you're probably not. Everyone is super interesting in their own way. Even if you think you're a terribly boring person, chances are you're just not looking in the right places. And this is one of those things where sometimes a little bit of soul searching helps, doing a bit of meditation, really thinking about this sort of stuff. Just sit down, write down on a piece of paper, like, here's things that I'm good at, here's things that I like to do, here's things that I do in different ways, or, in different combinations than what other people do, I'm certainly not the only nerdy dude who lifts weights and, talks about video games and all that crap. There's plenty of us now, but we're still kind of a rare population compared to, the standard, meathead stereotype of people who lift weights, people who work out really hard. So of course, that still makes, what I do pretty different, and again, like that, I'm not the only nerd that lifts weights for sure, but the way my specific brand of nerdity is obviously very different from the way, guys like John Roman do it. Like, you have your own ways of doing things, even if you have people that are pretty similar to you doing similar things. And so I think that being a solid, adult person does necessitate becoming, very much uniquely yourself. Do I think that means that you have to do some kind of alpha male bullshit thing and, steamroll all over everybody else to get what you want? Well, no. You don't have to do that. You just have to be yourself. You just have to, do things in your own way. And I think that it's extremely important when you're young to really be humble and to learn from other people and to keep an open mind and not to be too presumptuous and be a little more passive, because there's a lot of stuff out there in the world, and the sooner that you close that mind up, the sooner that you become a closed off person, the sooner you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you're set. That's your personality. And some people, they get set in stone when they're 16, when they're 18, when they're 20. Some people, they keep growing until they're, until they die. Um, and yeah, as you get older, the more you're going to be more set in stone about things. You're going to have convictions that you had when you were, 20 that you still hold when you're 30 or 40, and you hold them a lot more tightly than you used to, simply because you've been holding them for so long and you've gathered in your brain all these little, bits of evidence that seem to confirm that. That's natural. That happens. So yeah, I would say that the best way to really establish yourself, to establish an identity for yourself, is to, again, be really open to stuff. Try everything that you can when you're young. Just listen to different people, access different perspectives, try and approach other people with empathy, see what you can do. And yeah, at a certain point in your life, it's also good to, it's also a time to find what you're good at, and to stick with that. For example, I've been lifting for almost 10 years now, and am I the best in the world at it? Probably not. Am I better than other people? Absolutely. And I've been doing it for so long, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So that's as good as, that's as good as anything. And it's the same thing with, playing, I play a lot of video games. I read a lot of books. I'm into philosophy. That's all stuff that I've been doing for a long time, and it's been working pretty well for me, so I'm just going to keep doing it. So once you have a certain set of stuff that you've gathered, a certain stable identity of things that you like, that you enjoy, that really drive you, once you've got 5-10 years of experience with something under your belt, then that's the point at which it's okay to start being authoritative. That's the point at which, because some people, they never get to that point. They always, you can't have that open mentality forever. It's, it'd be great if we could. It would be great if we could keep learning and we could be, infinitely young, and that would be an amazing, feat. But the thing is that it's just not how it happens. People do get stuck in their ways as they get older. They do develop an ego. They do, get more set in their ways. So the best way to deal with that, of course, is to own it. Be 100% yourself. Just, when you start to when you start to do well in your field, when you start to achieve respect, or other people start to notice you, or praise you for what you do, that's the point at which it's okay to start accepting that fact. It's okay to start accepting that you're good at what you do, or at least, if not objectively good, if you're not the best person in the world, you're better than other people. You've got more experience. You've been doing it for longer. And that's the point at which you can start, it's okay to start getting set into your ways. It's okay to, it's okay to be your own person. And I will say again, just 100%, just be yourself. That doesn't mean that you will close up your brain and 100% reject everything that's out there and refuse to let anybody else influence you, because that's not what being yourself is about. Being a person is about being a person within a community. You're not just, this individual that's not influenced by the outside world and has no influence on the outside world. That's impossible. You wouldn't have language. You wouldn't have methods of communication. You'd be, like a Tarzan living in the jungle or something. That's not what we are in, modern society. We are influenced by, and we influence other people at the same time. And, own up to that. Admit that, you don't have to be the most stable person in the world, but you're you, and you have, some kind of identity, some kind of cohesive set of events or beliefs that holds you together and makes you what you are. And, you don't need to necessarily apologize for that. Obviously, you want to, it's best to be, in a state of harmony or oneness with, the culture outside of you, to be, nice to other people. Don't be a dick. And it's important to get along with people. It's important to, be a part of a community. But yeah, don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to be yourself. That's all I got for today. That's, a bit of Monday motivation, I guess. Take with that, do what you will. It's something I've been thinking about since this conference this weekend. I think I'm starting to hit that point, that tipping point in my life where I'm starting to get a little more set into myself, where I'm starting to really accept that I have an identity. And yeah, that's all there is to it. All right, my voice is a little sore, but as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell me what you think. Check out my website, check out my Patreon. Thanks. Have a good one.